AITA for refusing to attend my friend's boyfriend's party after she demanded to approve my outfit. My 29F friend Kate, 28, has a boyfriend, Jamie, 29, whom she has been with for nearly 3 years. We met Jamie on a night out, and I would say that although he's Kate's BF, I consider him a friend. We share an interest in a particular sport that we text about sometimes, and if I have a spare hospitality ticket to one of the sporting fixtures, I will sometimes invite Jamie to go. Jamie's 30th is coming up, and Jamie and Kate planned a big party, and I peripherally helped out with logistics when asked. A few days ago, Kate texted me. She asked if I wouldn't mind toning down my look for the party, and if I could send her a picture of what I was planning to wear. I asked her what this meant, and after asking several times if she really had to say it, she asked if I could dress, verbatim. Basically what I would consider frumpy, because she really didn't want to be outshone at her own boyfriend's birthday party. When I didn't reply right away, she went on to say that she wanted Jamie's full attention that night, which she wouldn't get if I showed up dressed properly. I was a bit annoyed by what she was implying, so I said if I was going to be so much of a concern for her, I'd rather just politely decline the invitation. Kate freaked out saying I was being immature by not coming just because I couldn't steal the spotlight. I said it wasn't about that. It was about her making me responsible for whether or not I draw her boyfriend's attention, which is something I've never tried to do nor done as far as I'm aware. She then said it was really important to Jamie that she stand out because his friends and colleagues would be there. I just told her that again, if she was so worried I was going to be distracting everyone, I'd rather not come than feel humiliated from now until the event. I said I would send her Jamie's gift and she could tell him why I wasn't coming. I guess she didn't tell him the reason because Jamie messaged me saying he knows I'm booked the night of the party, but he'd really like it if I could be there, and asked if I could reorganize so I could come. I hadn't replied, but I got a message from Kate saying she knows Jamie is trying to get me to come, and please could I just put my pride aside and come to the party. I asked if she was going to ditch the outfit policing, but she said no, so I said I would not be coming. She didn't reply, but I've since received a couple of texts from mutual friends saying that while her request is ridiculous, Kate is aware of that. She's just desperate to be seen a certain way, and even if it's pathetic, I would probably feel the same way in her shoes. Other friends I've told, who don't know Kate, say I should not bow to the pressure and that she's nuts for even asking, and I don't disagree. But also, I feel bad skipping the party when it's Jamie's birthday, and he asked specifically that I come. So, should I be going? Relevant comments. Info, I know this is probably gonna sound bad, but how good are you two looking compared to each other? LOL, this is the world's most uncomfortable and unfair question that absolutely needs to be answered really. I am considered more conventionally attractive than Kate, and have been since we were in school. I will say, over the years I've had certain enhancements, so the way I look now is not entirely natural, so is probably not a fair comparison anyway. But of the two of us, I've always received more male attention. I obviously don't think male attention is the goal or be all end all of life, but I can admit it might be a factor in Kate's thinking here. Are you and Jamie, the fiancé, actually friends? Are you and Jamie, the fiancé, actually friends? Yeah, we're really friends. I'm married, so even if he was single, I wouldn't be. And even if we were both single, he wouldn't be my type, and I've known Kate long enough that she should know that. Is your husband going to the party? Is your husband going to the party? He will be traveling for work, but even if he was home, he has an incredibly demanding job, and after a 17-hour workday, the last thing he wants to do is go to party. Especially with people he doesn't really mesh with. I don't blame him. Haha, it's not his vibe. Any chance Jamie is into you? Any chance Jamie is into you? I really hope not. I was with my husband the night we met Jamie. He actually came over with his boss who was trying to hit on me lol. That would be crazy if he had liked me from then knowing I was taken. I don't think he's into me. He's never given me reason to think he is. That said, I probably wouldn't know because why would he even hint at that if it were the case? Kate has never said he is, he's never said he is, so I'm going to presume that's not the case. Lots of questions about dressing, etc. Lots of questions about dressing, etc. I don't generally wear overly revealing clothing if that's what you mean. I take a lot of pride in the way I look, which includes being dressed well and appropriately for every occasion. I was never planning on showing up to the party in a latex cutout dress lol. Nobody has ever felt the need to discuss my outfits with me before. I host one formal, semi-formal event a week on average. Often more in summer, I work with a stylist to make sure I'm always dressed appropriately, and no one has ever said anything negative about the way I present myself. Jamie's party is semi-formal. I know because I helped them book the venue. Why can't she wear something toned down? Why can't she wear something toned down? It's not that it would kill me, but I don't know what tone it down means. I own the clothes I own, they fit how they fit, and thanks in no small part to a boatload of estheticians, my face and body are what they are. I'm genuinely not sure what she wants me to do. And B, she didn't say a little, she said frumpy, which to me means she wants to pointedly underdress for the event, which is fundamentally embarrassing, and in my opinion quite rude to show up to an event purposely not being mindful of how formal it is. So no, it wouldn't kill me, but it would make me stand out, just not in a positive way. People question why she texts Jamie and/or is his friend. People question why she texts Jamie and/or is his friend. Why am I texting him? Because we have a mutual interest, and since we met, we've talked about that interest. I invite Jamie, maybe twice a year, not often, because my husband buys me all-access type tickets for sporting fixtures, and sometimes ends up not being able to go, and Jamie is the only other person I know who enjoys the sport, and I know he doesn't get the opportunity to go. Kate really doesn't like the sport, and when I've asked her if it's okay to invite Jamie, she's always been enthusiastic about it. For his birthday, I did give them a pair of passes for one of the events, and all she did when I told her I'd send them was to complain that I got him a nicer gift than her. If Kate or Jamie has an issue with the boundary, then I think it's fair to say it's their responsibility to communicate that. Update 1. Update 1. As surprised as I was that so many people said to tell Jamie, I did realize it was the right thing to do. So I texted him and told him that Kate was insisting I dressed a certain way. Jamie called and explained. A couple of months ago, Jamie and Kate were out with a few of his friends. These same friends that I mentioned in my comments are not fond of Kate, and everyone had had a lot to drink. They were talking about how they met their SOs, and the story of Jamie and Kate meeting came up. Apparently, during the telling of the story, Kate asked Jamie why he had decided to hit on her rather than me, and one of his friends joked that it was because he knew he didn't have a shot with the hot one, me. Kate asked if this was true, and Jamie, having had way too much to drink, explained in a way that made it sound kind of true. He said he did notice me that night and thought I was attractive, just seeing me. He said he would never have approached me because he knew he would never have a chance with someone like me. So in that way, his friend was right. He said that speaking to Kate was the absolute best outcome because he loves her and plans on spending the rest of his life with her. But even knowing this, Kate has taken this extremely hard, and even though she says she is over it, he's noticed changes in her behavior that seem to be related to that. He also admitted that he'd been planning to propose to Kate at the party, and that is why he'd wanted me to be there. But after hearing this on top of the way she has been handling the situation previously, he won't be doing that anymore. After speaking to Jamie, I called Kate. She admitted that she had tied a lot of her self-worth in the fact that she'd finally been picked over me, and now it felt like that wasn't true. She apologized for trying to solve her insecurities through me, but also said she wasn't sure she would be able to have me in her life as much as I had been with the way she's been feeling. As hurt as I was, I said I understood. She said she still wanted me to come to the party since I'd helped organize it, and she obviously dropped the absurd dress code, so I will be going to the party. I trust that Kate will communicate her boundaries to Jamie, but I don't plan on inviting him to any more events for the foreseeable future. I'm really sad that I've probably lost a longtime friend over the drunken awkwardness of other people. But I also get that Kate can't help how she feels, and frankly it's for the best not to be in a secret competition. So, yeah, I'm hurt, but I'm going to the party. Not a satisfying update, but an honest one. Update 1 plus same day. Going through these comments has actually brought up a couple of memories that have, in hindsight, made me a bit uncomfortable, and I actually don't think I will end up going to this party. As much as the mutual friends will have questions, and I don't know how much of the truth I will end up telling, I feel too weird right now to continue to be involved in this situation. Relevant comments. More info on the boss hitting on her situation. I don't know if he did, but his boss came over and paid for our drinks and was very full on with hitting on me, and he introduced Jamie in a very much, and this is my friend type way. I don't know if he'd have come over to talk to Kate, but he said point blank he would never have come over to talk to me. People comment that it comes across like she's thinking highly of her own beauty in comparison. I'm pretty sure most people have been seen across a room by someone, and that person has thought they were attractive. That happens to the vast majority of people at one point or another. My point is, you almost never end up with those people, because in the end, that's not what matters. I'm the hot one in the relative bubble of this group of people. I have a friend group where I'm not the hot one. I am aware I'm generally considered good-looking, but I'm definitely not just the hot one in any given situation. And it is a shame people care so much about looks, especially where women are concerned. Just because I happen to acknowledge that I benefit from that, it doesn't mean I think it's a nice thing. Short of taking some kind of militant stance and disfiguring myself, I can't do anything about people thinking I'm attractive. But I also make it a point not to make my life about that, because I know how little being attractive feels like anything most of the time. Pretty privilege and having work done? Pretty privilege and having work done? I had a boob job because after 6 years of different eating disorders, the weight loss gain cycle had done some not so nice things to my body that I wanted corrected. And I never liked my nose. And yeah, my life is better because of how I look. I wouldn't be married to my husband if this wasn't how I looked. I go backwards and forwards some days on whether I like these facts or not. It's not about having a cross to bear so much as not thinking it's fair to be made to feel like the way I look is an inconvenience to the people around me, which is how I felt through this whole thing. No one has to feel sorry for me for the way I look, and as much as I feel bad for Kate that Jamie and his friends did a dickish thing, I don't feel sorry for how she looks either. I feel bad that a years-long friendship has been ruined over something as petty as looks. Regarding her husband liking her for her looks originally, and this is coming from someone whose husband did, or says he did anyway, haha, see them across the room and have a I have to meet her moment. I love that for him, but he's not the only man who's seen me across the room and wanted to talk to me. But I didn't end up with any of them, because lasting relationships go so far beyond that. And in the years since he's seen hotter women, it doesn't tarnish our relationship. People asked why it mattered to her so much that her friend asked, because it doesn't hurt to ask. Well, I sort of used ask and demand interchangeably there, but fundamentally, asking someone to dress frumpy, which would have been inappropriate for the style of the event, because it is a formal party, because you don't want people to look at them. Again, debatable how much this even would have happened, is pretty crappy, in my opinion. I like to see my friends being their best selves all the time. I've celebrated every achievement and milestone in my friends' lives, whether or not that's something I could achieve or would have wanted to in another life. That's just what friendship means to me. And as much as people would like to make out that I don't ever suffer from insecurity or jealousy, of course I do. But I will never make that friends' problem to solve and make them feel like something that only has to do with me has to do with them, because it doesn't. That's not being a friend to me. Especially because Kate knows that how I dress is as much a part of who I am as my sense of humor, and I have always done it to alleviate social anxiety, not as some ploy to draw people's attention. If Kate had asked everyone to dress down for whatever reason, that's one thing, but asking only me, and then telling our other friends about it, is making me directly responsible for the feelings she is dealing when I'm not. For me, friendship is enjoying each other as you are, not bartering for first position on an imaginary podium. And if you don't enjoy being around that person anymore, just don't be friends with them. Don't ask them to pander to you, because what's going to be left of an authentic friendship in the end? A few people criticize her for not being sadder for Kate. I already said what Jamie said was shitty, and what his friend said is shitty. I've met them multiple times. They're kind of shitty people in general. I'm just not surprised one of them pulled that kind of crap, frankly. And no, Jamie and I would not have hit it off. I was dating my now husband at the time. And even if I wasn't, never in a million years would I have hit it off with Jamie. I don't like him like that. We are very different people. We do not vibe on that level. I am absolutely sad for Kate that this is how things played out. And I'm sad that years of friendship has to go down the drain over Jamie, because my God, is he not worth it. But I have realized over the course of this whole incident that Jamie is not the beginning and end of the issues between me and Kate. Her self-esteem being partially dependent on winning over me in a competition I didn't know we were in isn't the way you think about a friend. and it was never how I thought about her. And for her to try to embarrass me or pull me up for some imagined slight based on something that never had anything to do with me in the first place isn't being a good friend either. And I would have worked on it. Honestly, I would have, because I love her, but she doesn't want to, which is fine, but I won't be pretending she was in the right for how she's handled this in regard to me, because she isn't. One more surprise. Someone asks if Jamie thought of himself as better looking. Would he have gone for her? In an uncomfortable twist, I've worked out it's actually not because of his looks, it's because he's not richer. This is super weird because I've literally only been putting the pieces together in the last few hours since this all happened. But yeah, looking back on it, Jamie has always teased me, in group situations, not over text or in any inappropriate way, about dating successful men. This is a running joke amongst my friends, hence how he knows about it. He's also said a lot of things in the vein of, if you're a guy, it's not about looks, it's about money. Oh my god, it's all coming back to me now. One time, him and Kate were out with me, and my husband and Kate and I were in the loo. And my husband and Jamie were talking about cars, and he mentioned my new car, and, jokingly, how he spoils me. And Jamie said something like, well yeah, girls like her, you have to, don't you? And me and my husband laughed about it at the time, because we thought it was him making a dig at me, but looking back on it, now I'm like, ugh, this is getting gross. And some people criticize her for not staying friends with Kate. And some people criticize her for not staying friends with Kate. I don't plan on being friends with Jamie after this, so I have dropped him. As I said in the update, Kate doesn't feel she wants to be my friend right now. That's totally fine, but I'm also not going to run after Kate and beg her to be my friend, because honestly, she didn't handle this right. For someone who has been my friend for more than a decade to take her issues with her admittedly crappy boyfriend out on me when I had no part in it, and then attempting to use me to rectify a slight I didn't even know about and certainly didn't commit, that's not her being a good friend either. I was her friend long before Jamie's, long enough to deserve honesty and better from her.